The Winnipeg Jets are, still, a young team on the rise and building towards a brighter future. And if you look at their pipeline of prospects, there are a number of players to get excited about. To start, the AHL's Manitoba Moose is a much more skilled and depth-filled roster than they were last season, with a few players who project as NHL'd and some who could even earn a cup of coffee if the injury bug hits the big club this season. Further down, the Jets also have some intriguing talents in the OL, the Finnish Liiga and even the USHL, where another impressive goalie is quietly excelling as the best stopper in that circuit. Here's a look at some of the top prospects at various levels of development. Tucker Poolman, 24, drafted round 5,127th overall in 2013 season to day 3GP0G0A1 on a deep Jets defense that has every NHL spot spoken for. Poolman was able to crack the lineup out of camp in a depth security role, which is quite the accomplishment for a player fresh out of the NCAA and in his first professional season. The fifth-round pick took great strides in 3 years with the University of North Dakota, nearly doubling his point totals from year 1 to year 3. He averaged 1540 of ice time in the 3 NHL games he got into this season. Reason for optimism. There's nothing negative to be drawn from Poolman's demotion to the All. On the contrary, he will play a significant role with the Manitoba Moose in a big minute role to get up to pro speed. Poolman's journey to this point has been an improbable route after going undrafted to an NHL team as an 18 and 19-year-old before the Jets took a chance on him with a latter-round pick in his third year of eligibility. He went from the low minors NAHL to the USHL and earned a scholarship. Now he's on the cusp of the NHL, and another year or two of fine-tuning with the Moose could end with him in a top 4 spot on the Jets' blue line. Michael Spacek, 20, RW drafted round 4,108th overall in 2015 season to date 8GP0G3A1 drafted out of Pardubice in the Czech Republic. Spacek came to North America the following season and scored 139 points in 120 games across 2 seasons with the WHL's Red Deer Rebels. He even got a taste of the All at the end of last season and got an assist in 4 games. In his first full pro season, it was hoped Spacek could add at least a depth-scoring dimension to a team that was in the bottom half of all offense last season. He got off to a fine start with 3 assists in 8 games, but hasn't played since October 27 when he took an awkward hit along the boards. No Michael Spacek for the Moose tonight. He took an unusual hit last night. No update yet. Jansen Harkin slips over to center. All. Dave Minnick at Ike Dave October 28, 2017 Mason Appleton, 21, W drafted round 6,168th overall in 2015 season to day 3GP2G8A5 It's fitting that the team leader in assists is the guy with Apple in his name. Appleton has been a revelation as another player fresh out of the NCAA since moving on from Michigan State. He had 31 points in 35 games in his last season with the Spartans but has stepped right into the All, producing at a level you'd expect to see from a veteran. Maybe part of that is because Appleton is playing with 2 vets, Michael Scarbusa and Buddy Robinson. I'm playing with 2 really good line mates and we complement each other well, so that helps, Appleton told the Winnipeg Free Press. I'm definitely getting more comfortable in the league. The pace is slowing down a little for me and the systems are coming more natural. I'm not having to think as much out there, just kind of making the reads and just playing hockey at a fast pace. At 6'3" and 193 pounds, Appleton has a size that projects well for his NHL future and he's using that size as a strength so far. The challenge for him, as any pro rookie, will be maintaining this level of performance over the demand of a full season schedule. Jack Ryslovic, 20, drafted round 1, 25th overall in 2015 season to date 13GP6G8A3 the Jets' top prospect on the All team right now. Ryslovic was a leader on the Moose last season alongside Kyle Connor. When it came to talking about who would earn a call-up first, it was always between those two, but Connor's goal-scoring potential gave him the inside track. Should the Jets need another forward call-up, Ryslovic figures to be next on the list. He's picking up right where he left off last season, leading the Moose in scoring and sitting tied for 6th in the All early in the season. He managed 48 points in 65 games last season, but is on pace to eclipse that total by a wide margin in 201,718. This is another build-up year for Ryslovic, who will be counted on in a big role as the top-line center for the Moose, and will hopefully get him one step closer to landing a full-time NHL spot. Chase DeLeo, 22, C drafted round 4, 99th overall in 2014 season to date, 1-3-GP1G4A1. DeLeo has just one goal, a game-tying marker late in a game against Belleville, but is top 20 in the all-in shots, so the hope is his percentages rise and he can get back to approaching 20 goals in a season. It'll be important to see progress in DeLeo's game in his third all-season, since he went from 19 goals down to 14 from year 1 to year 2 and is now struggling to put it in the back of the net through nearly a quarter of year 3. Samu Niku, 21, D drafted round 7,198th overall in 2015 season to date, 1-3-GP1G6A3. Just 2 years after being picked in the last round of the NHL draft, 14 picks away from the last in the draft. It's amazing to see the impact Niku is having with the Moose in his first season as a North American pro. He's a good skater and smart puck mover, but certainly needs to add weight and strength before making any serious push for a spot full-time on the Jets. Nonetheless, he's been a key player in the Moose's top 4 and increasingly looking like a diamond in the rough. Niku certainly has the potential to be an NHL one day. Eric Comrie, 22, G drafted round 2, 59th overall in 2013 season to date, 431, 2.39 GAA.924 SP. As Connor Hellebuck thrives in the NHL this season in his bounce back from a down year, Comrie is reminding everyone that he too is going to be pushing for a spot on the Jets roster in years to come. This season, Comrie is behind a much better Moose defense and his numbers have so far recovered considerably. His save percentage has gone from .906 last season to .924 this season, while his GAA has dropped from 2.96 to 2.39. Comrie had an underrated season in 201,617 in facing the second most shots of any all-goalie. Currently facing the 8th most shots, he should enjoy a much better season on a much-improved Manitoba squad and be squarely on the radar for the Jets crease after Steve Mason's contract expires following next season. Finnish Liiga Christian Vesalainen, 18, LW drafted round 1, 24th overall in 2017 season to date, 1-8-GP4G7A2 at 6'3" and 209 pounds. Vesalainen has the size to compete with men right now and is doing so in Finland's top league. The reason the Jets drafted him 24th last summer, which they were able to do after swapping picks with Vegas, was because of the vast potential had flashed. The reason Vesalainen didn't go earlier, however, is that while he excelled against players his own age, he won MVP honors at the U18 tournament. He didn't show too much in a level or two up. He showed flashes in his draft season, but also struggled with consistency. Vesalainen bounced between a few teams last season and after a falling out with Frölunda of Sweden's SHL, he landed on loan with Finland's HPK, for whom he tallied just 1 point in 9 games. He's continuing on with HPK this season and has so far been a much more productive player. We should expect to see him in the All next season. Logan Stanley, 19, D drafted round 1, 18th overall in 2016 season to date, 1-5-GP4G8A3. A giant blue liner at 6'7" and 231 pounds. Stanley was drafted as a long-term project prospect who still figures to have a few all seasons ahead before an NHL spot becomes a reality. He's coming off a year where he faced his first bit of adversity, missing most of the season with a knee injury before returning just in time to help Windsor win the MasterCard Memorial Cup. He may be a minus player so far in the OL, but amazingly no one on his first-place Kitchener Rangers team currently holds a plus rating. The team as a whole has scored just 6 more goals than it's allowed. This figures to be a huge year for Stanley, who will likely make a push for a Team Canada roster spot at the World Juniors after playing in the Summer Showcase. Not known for his offense, Stanley already has 4 goals for Kitchener this season, which is just 1 away from his career high in Major Junior. He's a big minute eater for the Rangers, which will challenge him against all of the league's top players. Stanley will be playing for the OL on that league's 2-game leg of the Canada RCS series. You can watch the first game Thursday night on Sportsnet and was named an assistant captain. USHL Mikhail Burden, 19, G drafted round 6,157th overall in 2016 season to date, 431 1.97 GAA.948 SP. Drafted out of Russia's Junior MHL after a sensational season, Burden crossed the ocean to join the USHL Sioux Falls Stampede and has taken more steps forward in his career. Burden was second in the USHL with a .925 save percentage in 31 games last season and would have played even more had he not sustained an injury that forced him to miss 15 games, 14 of which the team lost. If he stays Healthy this season, Burton has the potential for a monster season. Already he leads the USHL with an outstanding .948 save percentage and has faced the most shots of any goalie in the league. Burton played for Russia in the second game of the WHL leg of the Canada-Russia series and helped his country rebound from a 70 loss in Game 1 with a 29-save effort, plus a penalty shot that led them to a 43 win. Look for him as a potential starter for Russia at the World Juniors. Canverspic.twitter.com 7 NEVPA 9 or T, @MHL_RUS November 8, 2017.